Talmud possibly say what Steven Spielberg and millions of moviegoers and hundreds of thousands of school children think that it says? Let's see what it really says. The uncensored Talmud passage correctly reads as follows: whoever destroys a single life in Israel, Scripture regards him as if he had destroyed an entire world. And whoever saves a single soul in Israel, Scripture regards him as if he had preserved the entire world. And there's the bibliographic note on that from the Steinsaltz Talmud. And that's BT Sanhedrin 37a. Sanhedrin 37a is often inappropriately applied to anyone saving anyone's life simply because most English versions of the Talmud have been redacted. But the Talmud does not support such an interpretation. The Talmud and the Mishnah teach that the verse applies to Jews and Jews alone, to the complete exclusion of non-Jews. Spielberg perpetrated a public relations hoax in Schindler's List in order to deceive the world into regarding Judaism as a humanistic, universalist religion. Here is the original, in case anybody wants to doubt what I'm saying, here's the original BT Sanhedrin 37a in the Talmud text in Aramaic, which of course reads from right to left. Start at where the text is numbered 13, and start at 13 here, and stop down 13's here, almost at the bottom at 17, and that's it, right there. The text is exactly as I've given it. Steven Spielberg and many others have falsified it, and we will see that this falsification occurs time and again in books purporting to be collections of Talmud quotations. People often ask me, would you use one word to characterize Judaism? Is it hate? Is it anti-Christianity? No. I would have to say the primary identifying word for Judaism is deception. It is above all a master form of deception. Are Israeli army war crimes and atrocities a fluke, a kind of accident, a tragic, unavoidable circumstance? I don't think so. Boy, what if we said that about the Judaics? Israelis only understand force. What would Sean Hannity say about a person who said that? Nuke him? Torture him? Kill him with 1,000 knives? But that's Moshe Yalon, military chief of staff, quoted in the Israelis' own Hebrew language newspaper Haaretz. This is from the Yesha Rabbinic Council, the settler rabbis in the West Bank. This was a halakhic ruling that they issued. Rabbis to Israeli army, hit harder, even if civilians killed. The army should show less regard for the welfare of the Palestinians. A letter to defense, well, they call it a letter, but it was actually a halakhic ruling. A letter to Defense Minister Shaul Mofaz was issued by a number of prominent rabbis, including Chaim Druckman, the head of the B'nai Akiva religious youth group, Eliezer Melamed. These are the top settler rabbis. And they combine Talmud learning, although you see, since I'm quoting from Haaretz, they call it Torah learning, but the Torah is the Old Testament, and we know they're not learning, so that's wrong. They combine Talmud learning with active Israeli Defense Forces service. In other words, you've got some, not all, Israeli army soldiers who are first being given the racist doctrine of the Talmud, and then they're being sent out to fight. Here you've got a secular soldier over here on your left, and you have the Orthodox Judaic soldier over here who can be identified by the knitted kippah or yarmulke and the payos or earlocks. What kind of mercy do you think you would get from that dude if you were a Palestinian, man, woman, or child? Here you see at the center of the photo in dark glasses with the gold leaves embroidered on his coat, one of the most influential religious leaders in the Israeli state, the chief rabbi emeritus of the Sephardic Israelis, Ovadia Yosef. He heads a political party in the Israeli state called Shas. He also produces lucky charms in the form of magical amulets that he gives as a blessing to anyone who will vote for the Shas party. He advocates the extermination of the Arab people, and he's on record saying that time and again. The Talmudic leader of the Israelis' powerful Shas party gave a Passover sermon, 2001, in which he called on God to exterminate the Arabs. It is forbidden to be merciful to them. You must give them missiles with relish. Annihilate them. Describing the Arab people as evil ones, damnable ones, every Arab, no exceptions. Rabbi Ovadia Yosef was quoted in the Hebrew Ma'ariv newspaper as telling a congregation attending prayers 2001, "May the holy name visit retribution on the Arabs' heads and cause their seed to be lost and annihilate them and cause them to be cast from the world." Is his name Ovadia Yosef or is his name Adolf Hitler? Did you ever hear about this? This man is alive. And he inspires and informs the fourth or fifth most powerful military force on earth. So what's the result? There it is. Because, did you remember what he said? Let's go back. And cause their seed to be lost. There's the seed. That's from the refugee camp at Cana, which is Cana, where Christ worked the miracle. The Israelis have bombed it twice in the last 11 years. Most recently in the Lebanon War. And after the Israelis went wild against Lebanon and killed some 1,200 civilians, hundreds of millions of dollars in damage done. This is the chief rabbi of the Israeli Defense Force, a misnomer for the Israeli army, at an army camp in Hebron. Rebbitzin means wife of a rabbi. She's a very important female in Orthodox Judaism, and she's the one who spoke at George Bush's nominating convention in 2004.